Hi everyone, it's Heather and Shane from the Sensory Room at the Ark, and today we're going to go over this sheet with you that you received in the packets at home, just as we would if you were here with us. So the sheet we're looking at is Stranger Danger, and these are some simple rules you will use to stay safe.
So the first one is never go anywhere with somebody that you don't know or don't trust, and stay well away from strangers' cars. Shane, where is somewhere that this rule would maybe come into play?
I know that some of us in the group homes are allowed to go into the community back before COVID prevented these things. So some people were able to go to trips at Walmart. So it would be important there if someone were to ask you to come with them, or there's definitely car traffic and things involved in the community.
Yeah, so at stores, if somebody asks you to go with them and you don't know them, what should you do?
The first thing I would do is say no, and
That's
then get help. If I have a friend nearby, I would maybe yell their name for help, or some other options would be to
Maybe tell your staff member?
let the staff member
Yeah.
know, or in the store, if there's a worker in the store, let them know and point out who the person is so that they can take care of the situation, because they might be taking advantage of someone else too.
We should have pointed this out at the beginning, but we do want this to be a discussion. So in the homes, if you have any questions or if you want to talk about any of these rules further, you can pause the video anytime and talk with your staff and ask some questions. Okay, so the second rule that we're going to talk about is never take anything from a stranger, even if it is something personal that belongs to you. So Shane, why do you think we should never accept anything from a stranger?
It's important to not take things from a stranger, because you don't know if they've done something to it, if it's safe.
Especially if it's food, it sounds like you're saying.
Yeah, food or candy sometimes. That's a big one. You don't know if it's safe to eat. There could be germs or anything bad. And especially now, we don't want to take things from strangers because of coronavirus. So we want to keep ourselves safe. That's important as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Our next one is never talk to strangers, even if they know your name. If they try to start a conversation with you, it's okay to just ignore them and not look at them. Keep walking away if you feel scared. So Heather, why is this important, and could you give us some alternatives as well?
So if somebody comes up to you and is saying your name or trying to talk to you and you don't know them, you don't have to talk to them. That's what this is saying. So instead, what I would do is I would go find a staff member or a friend if somebody's around. And if not, I would just try and get back to somewhere familiar and somewhere that you feel safe.
That's a good example, Heather, and I think that's important as well. And before we get into the last two of these, which are good things to do, the three things we just talked about can all come together. They don't have to be separate people. One person could be offering you something that's strange. They could be trying to talk to you and you don't know them. They could be asking you to go somewhere. And sometimes we want to be nice to people. We want to have conversations with someone at the store. Hey, how are you doing? What's your name? Come over here. We want to be nice to them and have a conversation, but you need to be safe, and your staff member is always there, or your friend, they can help you. So it's good to try to be in a group with someone and not wander off alone either.
I think this is also an important time to point out that there are safe strangers. So an example of that would be maybe like a cashier at a store, a receptionist at like a doctor's office. People who are working and doing their jobs are usually safe people to talk to.
Yeah, that's a good point, Heather. And a good way to look for that would be if they're wearing like the store logo.
Or like a name tag.
Yep.
That would be good. So those are people that you could go to if you needed someone to talk to as well. You wanted to read the fourth one, Shane?
Sure. Number 4 is always stay with a friend or a group of friends, if at all possible. There's safety in numbers. We just kind of went over that, but I like what they say. There is safety in numbers. So even if you are in trouble or in a bad situation with someone, your friend is there to see it, or your staff member, and they can get help as well.
Yeah, I think this one should be a little bit easier because if you go to the stores, you're usually with somebody from the ARC. So hopefully that one is a little bit easier to do. But if you're just on a walk maybe around your neighborhood or in the park, like just always make sure that you have somebody close by that you know. Okay, the last one we're going to talk about is always follow rules about places that you are not allowed to go. Make sure somebody knows where you are going and when you will be back. This is very important. Shane, do you want to talk about this one a little bit more?
Sure, there's a couple reasons this one is very important. If it's a place that you are not allowed to go, you don't know those rules and you don't know the people that are going to be there, and it's like all of the situations we've already discussed. And safety is a huge issue. That's what we're really discussing here. And if it's a place you don't know what is safe, you don't know the rules of like exits, you don't know what alarms you might set off, you don't know the most important thing. So you need to be safe and not go where you're supposed to not be.
Yeah, another part of this is making sure somebody knows where you are. If you go somewhere and none of the staff or your friends know where you are, then nobody can come help you if you need help. So that's really important for you to protect yourself. And it's easy to do. Just make sure people know where you are at all times.
That's a good point, Heather. And finally, with that, make sure they know when you'll be back. So if you are going to go for a walk or to the...
Yeah, even just little things. Like we do this every day. Every time Shane leaves work, he has to text me when he gets home, so I know he's safe.
Yeah, that's right. So it's good. So if the person maybe isn't back in 5 minutes, or I'm going to go walk around the block real quick, and if it's taking too long, then you know that there might be a problem. And we always want to be safe, and we're here to teach you how to be safe in different situations with people and places.
So we look forward to hearing how your discussions about safety and strangers go in the house. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. But we miss you, and do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, what I would really like to see is at the end, maybe you can tell us when we see you or in the comments, maybe if you've helped out a friend or someone in your group home if they have been in a dangerous or safety situation.
Maybe times that you've made good safety choices.
Yeah, and what you've done to help them, or even how you have taken care of yourself. I would like to hear those stories.
I like that a lot.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.